Okay, so welcome back to Gentle Yoga on Mondays. Thank you for giving me a month off. I don't know if it was deserved, but it was needed, and I'm really proud of myself for taking some time off because I don't do that very much, and I enjoyed it. But I also missed you, and I'm happy to be back here. So in this practice, gentle yoga, I'd like you to have some props, and you can just gather things around the house, but you're going to need something soft for under your knees. So like a little folded up blanket, a cushion or pillow that you can sit on, and something that you can use like a yoga strap. It could be a long scarf, a belt, a bathrobe tie, or an official yoga strap. So take a moment and gather the things you can find around your house. We'll use our props to help us. We will be playing with a little bit of balance this morning. So if your balance is challenged, you can move yourself to a wall or a piece of furniture as well. Okay. When you are surrounded by all of these wonderful props that make our practice better, go ahead and take a seat. And I always enjoy sitting my hips up on a folded blanket or a cushion. You can try that out and see how that feels to your body. And then I'd like you to just arrive here on this cushion, this pillow. You can close your eyes, you can just look down. But imagine it's winter, and it's cold and snowy outside. Imagine a little bird, one of the few remaining birds, just landing on a branch. And I'd like you to do that here, just from the busyness of running around and doing the things, just find yourself landing on this branch here. And for a few moments, breathing and pausing. We're going to breathe through our nose. So softly close your lips and notice breath coming in and out of your nose. For today's practice, a little place to give our mental attention. I'd like you to think of what you would consider to be your greatest strength. What word comes to mind as you think of your greatest strength? This is something people have told you your whole life that you are. And imagine that strength having an opposite, a shadow. So the example that I use in my life is one of my greatest strengths is leadership. I like to be in control and in charge. And that has a shadow side that makes me a little difficult to get along with when I don't get my way. It makes it hard for me to be in partnership with people. And so consider your greatest strength is also a shadow. And what I ask in this practice is that you embrace both. It all gets to be here. You don't need to change a single thing about you. You are perfect and whole exactly as you are. You're right where you're supposed to be. You are here exactly as you were always meant to be. And can you believe that? Can you embrace that? Let's bring our hands together in front of our heart, and you can let your thumbs touch your sternum, your chin drop slightly. Take a breath in, let a breath go, and just step into a space of acceptance of self. Give yourself permission to accept, to embrace, to love the person here, sitting on this cushion, breathing this breath. And let's allow this practice to be a love letter to ourselves, a gentle movement practice. When you feel ready to begin movement, open your eyes slowly, come back to the screen a second time to these beautiful faces. And bring your hands together, and we're going to create a little bit of friction with our hands. Good morning, Bill. Welcome. And once your hands have gotten warm, I'd like you to bring your hands to the top of your shoulders, the base of your neck. If you're wearing a shirt, well, you're all wearing shirts, but a bigger shirt, tuck your fingers underneath the fabric, get right on the skin. And we're gonna lift your elbows up high so you can get those fingers way down on your trapezius. Grab a handful of muscles with your fingers and then deep breath in. Exhale, pull your elbows forward and down and let them drag your fingers up your back to that soft space at the base of the neck. Let's do that again. Reach way back, elbows high, dig your fingers in, grab a hold, and then elbows forward, let your fingers trace firmly up the muscles of your back. And then using your thumbs, just knead into the top of that big trapezius muscle. Maybe it's been a while since you've had a massage. Are you in the practice of self-care like this? Trace your fingers up your neck. And then let your hands fall to your lap. And we'll take the left hand onto the right shoulder. And you're just gonna dig in there and just massage your shoulder. Move down to your bicep, around your elbow, your forearm. Come into the wrist. And then place your thumb firmly in the palm of your hand and press hard, make big circles. The place we carry a lot of tension, especially with our texting and typing. And then you're just going to pull each finger like you're flicking energy off, and then shake that left hand out. Just all that energy, shake it off. We'll go the other side, right hand to left shoulder. Nice little kneading motion, move into the bicep. Good. The elbow, the forearm. Self-care can sometimes feel like a waste of time, right? Bring your hands, your thumb to your palm and dig into that palm. And then each finger. And shake out that hand. Let's take a nice deep breath, arms reaching up overhead. And start to sway your body from side to side, one arm down, one arm over, moving with your breath. Inhale through the center and exhale to the side. The next time the left hand comes to the floor, bring the right arm up and over and lean into that hand a little bit, but really pull. Find an opposition here. The hip presses down, the hand reaches high. Deep breath into the side of your body. Bend the elbow a little bit and pull the elbow backwards. And then reach up. Drop the elbow to your left knee. Inhale up and back. Exhale across. Inhale up and back. One more time. And across. Let the right hand come to the left knee, sit tall and open to a twist, looking over your shoulder. And just let your arms be like wings coming through the center, up and over the other side. Left arm reaches high, left hip plugs to the earth. You're breathing into the space between your ribs. Bend your elbow, pull the elbow back, deep breath in. Exhale as the elbow comes to the right knee. Movement with breath, open and close. Let your attention start to settle here in your body and the physical sensations. One more nice big breath in, reach back. And the hand attaches to your right knee, sit tall, open into a twist. And easing ourselves back to center, both hands on the knees. Resituate if you need to on your cushion and cross the other foot either in front or over. So sit, it's gonna feel a little awkward. With the hands on the knees, pull the chest forward and exhale, round your body back. Movement with breath right here. What do you feel? Where is tension? Where does stress reside in your body? Stress is not just an emotion, it's a physical presence in our bodies. Where do you hold yours? Can you breathe into that space? Can you soften around that space where stress gets stuck? And then sitting tall, great big shoulder circles. Maybe alternating so you can really tell the difference between one side and the other. Maybe this is a place where stress finds little pockets to hang out in your body. Neck circles, maybe it's the neck. Drop one ear to one shoulder and then across, back and forth. You usually don't have to look too far to find those little spaces. And they too get to be here. It's all a part of your experience. And when we start to notice and pay attention to the spots, they tend to soften. Take one more deep breath in, arms high. Hands through heart center, audible exhale. Nice. So take that soft blanket that you have, fold it up on your mat and come to a kneeling position. We'll be here for a bit, so you're gonna want some padding underneath your knees. And let's start with an easy cat and cow. So just inhaling to open and exhaling to round. Feel free to get a little bit creative with your movement, sideways, forward and back. Just looking for spaces that need a little bit more attention. And come to a neutral spine. Tuck your toes under and lift up into downward facing dog. If this doesn't feel good to your wrists, you can stay on your knees or you can drop to your elbows. Either way, let's just open up a bit through the back of the legs, pedaling the heels, reaching the heels down. And then returning to a tabletop position. Let your knees come out wide, but your big toes touch, and shift your hips slowly back into child's pose. You can stack your hands here or rest your forehead right down on the ground. Breathe into the back of your body a few times. Feel the back ribs opening, the space around your kidneys expanding. Even stretch your waistband. Once again, hands on the mat, return to a tabletop. So come back to that child's pose anytime you want. A little bit of rest. Let's tuck our toes and push ourselves up to a kneeling position. Bring your hands to your hips and just gently shift your hips forward. Just a little, the most gentle camel pose you can think of. Shoulders on your back, chin slightly lifted. Feel the opening now in the front of your body, the ease of your breath. We'll return to neutral. Extend one of your legs. Let's take the right leg off to the side. I'm going to turn to face you. Right leg comes off to the side. You're welcome to turn on your mat if you want your foot on the mat, but it's okay if it's off. Arms out in a T. Windmill toward the leg that's extended, the right leg. Take a deep breath in here and just really feel that lengthened space in the side of your body. This is gate pose. The Sanskrit name of this pose is Parigasana. And this pose goes nicely with the niyama of aparigraha, or letting go, non-attachment. Open the gate, let it go. Hopefully we all did that on New Year's Eve. It's all gone now. Windmill over to the ground. Let your fingertips come to the earth, right arm to the ceiling. And then if you like, you can take that arm way up and over the side of your head. Reach long, plant the foot and stretch your side body long. We'll move with breath, nice and slow. Let your arms create a little bit of momentum for you. Inhale up and exhale. Inhale and exhale at neutral. Inhale, exhale in the center. Move with your breath. And then with the left hand on the floor, right hand on the hip, float that leg up and we'll bend the knee. You can reach toward the ankle, give a gentle little kick, opening through the front of your body. Breathe. And release. Let your right hand come to the floor, shift yourself around to a tabletop, and then the right hand scoops underneath. Come to thread the needle. So feeling the back of your right shoulder on the mat. Breathe into that space behind your shoulder blade. And gently come back to your tabletop. Knees a little closer together. Come back up to kneeling on your shins, your knees, the toes tucked. Let's find that gentle camel again. Hips forward, shoulder blades hug onto your back. Breathe into what you find here. If you start to experience pain or extreme discomfort, please back off a bit. Take care of your body. As we return to neutral, let's extend the left leg out to the side. And come into Parigasana, gate pose. Opening the gates, releasing anything that's been trapped here that just needs to go on its way. Maybe that's stress, tension. Coming over into a side plank, let the fingertips come to the floor, arm to the sky, set your base here, and then see if this feels great or if you'd like to have the arm extended. Two great choices. Breathe into the left side of your body. Expand. Nice. And then using the arms for a little bit of help, come back up and we'll start to move with our breath. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, neutral. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, neutral. Let's come over, planting the right hand, lifting the left leg, and we'll bend the knee, coming into a little bit of a bind, kicking the foot into the hand, just feeling hip flexor and shoulder stretching, some strength in your back. Really nice, everybody. Release that. Sweeping that left arm around, come to tabletop and we'll thread the needle. This time the left arm crosses underneath. We come onto the back of our left shoulder. Taking deep breaths into that space where we all form these little knots of tension. Let's return to tabletop position. Planting the hands, tucking the toes. Let's lift again into downward facing dog. This time pedaling more, bending more, shifting more. And then bring your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands, either way, softening the knees. Let's come into a forward fold. You can bend your knees generously, just resting your torso here on your thighs. Fingertips touch elbows, ragdoll. Deep breath in, long exhale. And press hands to shins, lengthen into a flat back. Let's reach the arms all the way up, extended mountain. Hands come to heart. You can move your props out of the way and come to a wide stance. We're just going to do a few sunflowers here. Took us about half the class to get on our feet. That's gentle yoga. Woo! Bring your arms out wide into a 5-pointed star and really reach out into all directions. Just let your body grow and expand. This is the power pose that Amy Cuddy talks about in her TED Talk, the Here I Am World pose. On your exhale, bend your knees, scoop down, and then lift up again. Big breath. Exhale. Start to make noisy breath, whatever that is for you. It could be ujjayi breath. It could be a loud sigh. Another fun practice is the snake breath, making the S sound as you exhale. Just noise, let yourself hear your breath. make it a little bit faster. Let's generate a little bit more heat. And reach high, come to all corners of the room again. Just extend yourself out. And then lower your hands. Turn your toes to the side of your mat. And hinging from the hips, let's come into a wide straddle forward fold. Hands can be on a block or the floor. Knees can be soft. Nod your head yes, shake your head no. Breathe a little more deeply into your back. And then inhale to a flat back. Left hand right underneath your chest or your face. Right arm opens up to the side, and you can bend a knee if that feels good to you. Come back to center and switch. Inhale to open. Exhale to close and start to move with your breath. A beautiful flow, twisting the spine, stretching the legs. Go one more time in both directions. And then pausing in the center once again, hands come out to the feet. Gently pull yourself a little deeper. Breathe. Coming once again into a flat back, let's start to turn toward the front edge of the mat, coming into a kneeling lunge, dropping the left knee. If you'd like to bring that padding back under your knee, you can slide in a blanket here. Let your left toes point toward the back of the room, getting a stretch across the front of that back ankle. Bring your hands to your front knee and gently lift up. If you notice any stress in your low back, you can keep your hands on the floor. But if you're getting a green light here, reach your arms high. Thumbs back, chest lifted. Opening through your hip flexor, another place where we hold a lot of stress and tension. On the exhale, lower the hands and then shift your hips back, toes lift, coming into a hamstring stretch. Try to keep your spine nice and long here, chin forward. And let's move with our breath. Inhale up to lunge and exhale back to hamstring. Just find a pace that works perfectly for you. This is your practice. It's the time you've set aside to be in your body with your breath. Don't miss what's happening right here. It's precious moments of time with and for yourself. And then planting that left foot, tuck the back toes, lift the knee off the ground. We're going to walk our fingers forward and let the foot float off the floor, coming into a 3-point balance. Starting to feel the strength in the right foot, the right leg. So as we come towards some balancing practices, I'd like you to just reflect back on that strength and shadow conversation. Notice how both show up when we work through a sequence of balance. So bending the left knee, we're going to try to just rise up onto the right foot with the knee coming in front of us. This is where you could use a wall or a chair for support. So for me, balancing poses always bring up ideas of performance and perfection and frustration if I don't get it right. Just observe how these strengths and shadows show up. Let's release the legs straight behind us again, coming down to that 3-point balance. And just play with movement and breath. Right leg is probably getting a little fatigued. That's okay. Just getting stronger. Notice what comes up in your personality. There's your strengths trying to take over, your shadow showing up. Set the left foot down next to the right. And just pause here in a forward fold to feel the difference between your two legs. Go ahead and step your right foot way back, drop the knee to the ground. Let's give it some love. It just worked hard for us. So pointing the toes back, you can stay down or press up. Find your opposite hip flexor. Option 2, lift the arms. We're going to start to move with our breath. On the exhale, the fingertips touch down, the hips glide backwards. Feel free to move as slowly as you like, no rush. It's here to explore, to observe, to listen. Our body speaks to us in a language called sensation. What is your body saying to you as you move through these shapes? I know for sure it's saying, thank you for taking time to listen to me. And what else? We'll bring the hands down to the ground when you've completed one more round. We'll tuck the back toes, lifting the knee off the earth. Walking the hands forward, let's find our balance, 3-point balance. See if you can spread your toes wider, your foot more broad, and really root down through that left foot. Notice if anything shows up on this second side that's different than the first side. Maybe competition or judgment or embarrassment or frustration. What shows up for you? It all gets to be here. Bend the knee and rise. Use any of the tools you have to help you. We'll flow with breath. Nice and slow. What shows up? Back to a 3-point balance. And then lowering that foot. Come into forward fold. Wrap your arms around your legs. Give yourself a hug. Whatever shows up, can you be graceful with it? Can you accept yourself as you are? Just tenderly, with compassion. The shadow and the strength. Press your hands to your shins, lift halfway. And then moving from the hips, bring yourself to stand all the way back in mountain pose, Tadasana. Grab that strap that you found, a band of some sort. One more little balance trick on a Monday. So let's stand again in our right foot, and we're going to put our left foot in this band. You're welcome to stay close to a wall, hold the band in one hand, put your hand on something else for a little more balance. But this band actually gives us another floor to stand on. You might notice that. All right, once you feel your balance, extend your leg out in front of you. Hold on to the band with your left, we're standing on our right foot, aren't we? Now I'm going to be confused. Hold on to the band with your right hand. And in super slow motion, open out into a twist. I'm kind of hoping that we fall out of these poses. That's kind of the point. Challenging ourselves out of the comfort zone. Trying something unfamiliar and unusual, and observing ourselves in the process. If you aren't challenged here, lose the band. Take your hand to your foot. Circle back to center and release the foot to the earth, and just pause here for a moment. Just pause and observe the space in between. And like a witness, observe, oh, I'm being like this right now. Without any judgment, just noticing, oh, there I am again being hard on myself. Let's switch. Let's stand on our left foot. And we'll wrap the band underneath our right arch. Take a moment. Get stable here. Push down on the band. And then when you feel that balance, extend your right leg. And hold the band in your left. And take your time opening into a twist. If you fall out, just come back again and again and again. This is a practice. It's not a perfect. We're here to learn. We're here to try something we haven't tried before. And observe ourselves in the trying. It's really great observation when we notice that we're doing yoga in an effort to do yoga better. And that's really impossible. The poses are not the end in themselves. They're a means to an end, which is self-discovery, self-inquiry. Come back and slowly release. Set the band down. Find solid ground. Bring your hands to your heart. What did I learn in that last exercise? What did I observe? Which parts of me showed up? Be graceful and kind to yourself. It all gets to be here. Take a deep breath with arms reaching high. Big exhale as you dive forward. Pressing hands to shins, lengthen and lift. Step back, downward facing dog. And let's lower our knees to the earth and come down onto our bellies. Place your forearms on the mat in front of you, palms down. Sphinx pose. So tuck the tailbone, and then with the elbows, just gently pulling backward, let the rib cage glide forward. We're looking for some space here between ribs and pelvis. Create some space in your low back. Deep breaths. And release. Place one of your cheeks on the backs of your hands and just wiggle out your hips. With your hands by your shoulders, return to a tabletop. And again, all the way back to child's pose. And shifting ourselves around to a seat. If you're on a hard floor, you can put a blanket underneath your hips to just have a little cush under your sitting bones. Unless you brought your own cush with you, like I did, goes everywhere I go. Hold on to the back of your knees and lean back. We're just gonna do one gentle boat. So by gentle, I mean you can hold on. Pull your lower back up off the ground. If you'd like a little more challenge, let go, straighten your legs. Come into a boat pose that you can sustain for a few breaths. And observe here. This is your time, your body, your breath, your practice. What's here? What strength shows up in a strength pose? Do any shadows appear? Release the feet to the floor, straighten the legs. Let's take the arms all the way up high and then exhale over your legs. Let your hands find ankles, feet. Maybe you can use your band around the bottoms of your feet. Moving breath into the back of your body again, between your shoulder blades. Breathe into the bottom of your rib cage. And slowly come back to an upright spine. Bend your knees again and draw yourself down to the earth. Knees come into chest. Find that band once again, and we're going to wrap the band around the bottom of both of our feet as we extend the legs up. So this pose is called legs up the wall. If you want to move to a wall, you can. This band allows us to kind of be here without so much effort. Let your arms relax though. So try to take the tension out of your neck and shoulders. Take deep breaths as you experience this inversion, upside down. You might notice a little tingling in the crown of your head, your face. Sign of the reverse of circulation, fluid coming from feet into your torso and up into your heart. So your heart doesn't have to work so hard to pull all that fluid back to itself. Your brain is being flooded with fresh oxygenated blood right now. pose is called the Fountain of Youth for all those reasons. Slip your left foot out, holding on to the right. Let the left leg fall flat to the floor and just gently draw the right leg a little closer. And with deep breaths, explore the back of your leg. Holding the band in the left hand, we're going to open out into a twist. This is the exact shape we did earlier, balancing. We just laid it on its side. So how different is this experience than when you were standing on one foot? Gravity changes things, doesn't it? What shows up for you in a more relaxing posture? Soften the knee, gently come back to center. Bring the left leg back up into the band and switch. Let the right foot slowly come down to the floor. Left leg comes closer. Take a few breaths, observing the back of your left leg. And holding the band in the right hand, slowly guide the leg across your body. Shifting as you need to, open into the twist. Fill up and empty out. Soften the knee, come back to center. Release the band. Take any final movement or stretches that your body needs on your way into relaxation. You have all of the props that you're welcome to use. Maybe a bolster under your knees, a blanket over you. If you haven't yet invested in an eye pillow, I highly recommend that. Something to place over your eyes in Shavasana. Once you make it into the position where you will find stillness, I invite you to start with a square breath, a box breath. So imagine drawing a box in your mind, and you'll inhale up one side. You'll hold the breath as the line crosses the top. Exhale as you draw a line down, and hold, suspend the breath out as you draw the bottom of the box. So inhale, pause, exhale, and pause at your own pace. Take a slow, sweet breath in through your nose. And let a sigh escape your lips, a long, slow exhale. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to stretch like a cat on a warm driveway. Just extend your body out with a yawn. And slowly roll to one side. And when you feel ready, return to a seat. Once again, I ask you to bring your hands together, and we're going to rub our hands to create a little bit of heat. And as you do this, will you close your eyes and picture in your mind a photograph of you as a child? It's your favorite picture of you when you were a little person. And I want you to take these warm hands and just place them on your cheeks as if you could place them on that child's cheeks. The poet Rumi, my beloved child, break your heart no longer. Each time you judge yourself, you break your own heart. You stop feeding on the love, which is the wellspring of your vitality. The time has come, your time, to live, to celebrate, and to see all the goodness that you are. Let no one, no thing, no idea or ideal obstruct you. Do not fight. Let go and breathe into the goodness that you are. Breathe into the goodness that you are, my beloved child. Bring our hands together in front of our heart, a gesture of gratitude for that beautiful child that you were and this beautiful adult human being that you are. Break your heart no longer. Judge yourself no more. We all have strengths and we all have shadows, and it all gets to be here. Thank you so much for taking time for yourself today. Namaste.